Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Wish I'd stayed in the sun. Let me tell you, when it's just a peep of sun popping through the trees on a cold October morning, really doesn't provide a lot of heat. Kind of chilly out here. Don't know if I'm dressed appropriately. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Good morning, Everlasting Bloom. Oh! Oh! Good morning, Laura Beth. I don't know if I can do it. My butt's so cold. Wearing my PJs as you'd expect. Good morning, John Bradley. Sitting on a metal chair. Well, cold breeze just came in. Got some neighbors walking dogs over there. See a big black lab and a big German shepherd. Not wearing the coat maybe that I should be wearing. Kind of got about 4 or 5 different coats. Thank you. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Got about 4 or 5 different. Oh, that's much better. That's much better. Something about the feeling of a metal chair. Oh, there's that coat. Where'd that coat come from?
I borrowed it last night.
I couldn't find it. I'm going to double up my coats. See how comfy this is. Couldn't find this coat. This is my softer coat. I don't know how many coats I own. Maybe 4 or 5. Got this one that's a real light coat. This one that is the coat I generally use when I'm riding my scooter, aka motorcycle.
The sunroom is open if you do want to come in.
And I'm going to double up the coat. What are you doing now since I left Target? Good morning, Cheryl. What am I doing now? I am doing so much in life, John Bradley. I'm doing so much in life, and I thank you for joining today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is. I can barely move. Got a t-shirt. I got a sweatshirt. Got my heavy leather riding coat, and have my lighter North Face coat. Makes me feel like I'm invincible, like I'm Batman or bulletproof or sort of something. But anyway, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy. Oh, Laura Beth, you know that's where I'm going. It is Sunday morning. It is October 22nd. Time really flies. There's a big dog barking sound in the background. I don't know, can you hear that? Don't know if it was the German Shepherd or the Black Lab, but that was a hearty bark for a dog. That was not a Chihuahua. That was not even a Holly dog making that bark. But anyway, time goes quickly, and it's October 22nd today, and the reason I know that is it's Sunday morning, and a week ago was my daughter Eve's birthday, and it's just amazing how quickly this past week is gone, and just reminds me how fast time goes. And yeah, how fast time goes. So I guess we should enjoy the moment. And Sandra Lynn, good morning. She just said she got back from Mariano's to get 2 dozen donuts. That's very aggressive. I forgot about my trip to Mariano's today to get my donuts. It's become a Sunday tradition. Be very cold riding my scooter today to the Marianos. But anyway, Sunday morning, it's October 22nd, and it is, I don't know, 8:06 o'clock a.m. And I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois, which is a lovely town, about 145,000 people, about 35 miles west of Chicago. You can see behind me, I mean, the leaves still look pretty green. The yellow you see is really more the sunlight hitting the leaves, but they're changing. They're changing. And it's 40 degrees out here today. Feels like a crisp 40 degrees. And anyway, this is a show I've been doing for a long time, and it is a show about me talking. Hello, thank you for the rose, Sandy Shepherd. Thank you for the heart, Sandy Shepherd. Sandy Shepherd's winning my way to my hearts with sweet little gifts, and I appreciate that. But anyway, it's a show I've been doing a long, long time, and it's a show about me talking. Thank you, RJ. But for those that have been watching a while, you know, it's not just a show. Does anyone know how to juggle? Does anyone know how to juggle? I do not know how to juggle. I don't know why I just thought of juggling, but I have 2 little clementine oranges here. I think you really need 3 to juggle. But this is, I think, the motion you got to make if you are juggling. And I do not know how. So for anyone that's wanting to learn how to juggle, don't follow my advice because I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this is a show about me talking, as I mentioned, sharing some ups and downs. And wow, we have a nice audience of 111 people are hopping on my live on this Sunday morning. But for those that have been watching a while, hello, Haywood. Cheers to you in a moment. This is not just a show about me talking. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee that I just poured. Magnola said, I just read. I love Target. I have to pause a moment and say, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? Magnola just read. I left Target. Was it in the newspaper? Was it in the newspaper? Is it in the National Enquirer? Somebody read that I left Target. It makes me laugh. I was working an entry-level position, the lowest level position in a super Target, kind of while I was finding my way towards other things after a 17-year career in real estate and Channel 5 News app. And it was an earlier post. Okay. Okay. But I mean, there's like people wondering about my job at Super Target. It was a good job for me. It was fun. I mean, it wasn't that fun, but it was a pretty good job for me. And I manned the cereal aisle. I talked about it a lot in my videos. I manned the cereal aisle 9 and 10, like nobody's ever done at the Super Target in Warrenville, Illinois. And I left it a couple months ago, and almost a couple months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and it feels pretty good. So Naperville man leaves cereal aisle. Age of the Sun-Times. Is there still a Sun-Times? But anyway, let's not talk too far ahead. Where's my blog at? I don't know that I have a blog. I don't have a blog. I used to write a lot. And I'd post it on Facebook and various other social media platforms. And I think it was how I coped with life when I was going through hard times. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd feel all these emotions and my mind would be racing and I'd feel kind of horrible or scared or frightened or worried or panicked or what have you. And I'd bring out my computer and I'd start typing away and some beautiful words would flow out. They really were. I'd go back and I can read some of my words and I almost cry. I cry a lot. Ooh, I cry a lot. Ooh, do I cry a lot. Are mashed potatoes Irish guacamole? I don't know. RJ. I don't know if mashed potatoes are Irish guacamole. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to take my first sip. Hey, Tara Jacobs, thank you. Thank you, Chippy. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you. And I know I'm excited to take my first sip, and I really need it. I really need it because it's cold outside. it is cold outside, and my coffee's still steaming, and it feels good in my hand. But anyway, cheers to you, and cheers to me, and cheers to Holly, and cheers to Naperville, and cheers on this beautiful Sunday morning. I'll tell you what, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. I buy a lot of varieties of coffee, and this morning I got up early. I woke up at 4:45, and cheers, RJ. Janice loves iced espresso, and I'm sure iced espresso would be good. But if I was drinking an iced espresso, I'd turn out into turn into a little snowman out here today because I'm cold. But anyway, you guys know I have a bunch of different varieties of coffee. We like to mix it up at my house. Never know exactly what type of coffee we're gonna make. And this morning I made a pot of the dark roast when I woke up this morning. I did my first sip or my first cup video drinking the dark roast, and it was delicious. My wife was in charge of the second pot of coffee. And the other day I was at the store. I was looking for pumpkin spice. I did not see any pumpkin spice coffee out there. And so I bought my wife's favorite, which she likes a mocha, Starbucks mocha. And I was a little skeptical on the first bag or two, but this sip was really, really good. It's just got a hint of chocolate flavor. It's very smooth. And again, not overwhelmingly sweet by any stretch, but a nice sip and a nice change of pace from the dark roast I had earlier today. So another sip of coffee. Anyway, I got a lot on my mind. It's Sunday morning. It's 8:12. Going to church in 2 hours. It's going to be our first time bringing Eve there. For the last year plus, I've been going to church every week, every Sunday, and just bringing my little nugget Augie along with me. And it's so fun sharing Augie with the world because he's such a beautiful, special little boy. And he's just... Magnola is asking for a Holly update. I don't know if there's a Holly update. She's inside. I'm not sure what Holly is doing at this moment, but she's inside, and she's a good girl. But anyway, for the last long time, I was bringing Augie, my 2.5-year-old son, who happens to have Down syndrome. It's kind of a interesting little nugget. And he's fun sharing with the world because he's got the brightest little eyes and face and smile and looks around. And I drop him off at the daycare area at the church, and all the ladies would just love him so much because he's the sweetest little nugget of love. And hey, thanks so much for following the host, Russ. I appreciate that. But today we're going to bring Eve for the very first time. I got a little daughter who's 1. And she's never gone, and I'm excited to show her off to the church and show her off to the daycare area and the ladies at the daycare. And I'm excited to see how Augie and Eve interact with the other kids together. Augie's always done great by himself, but I'm wondering if he's going to feel protective of his little sister and show her around, or if he's just going to bolt and ditch her, and she's going to be left wondering, where's Mama? Where's Dada? Where's Augie? What am I doing here? All these toys, so much to play with. So I think it's going to be nice. But that's at 10:45, and I'm looking forward to that. It looks like it's a gorgeous day where I'm at. Good morning, Eric Motocross. And Haywood said it looks nice and sunny here. It is nice and sunny, obviously. You know, at 8 in the morning in October, the sky is blue. The sky is blue, but it is chilly. Let us... Thank you, RJ. Hey, you there, Texas. Welcome from Texas. RJ keeps me on task. Sometimes I forget that part of my task and part of my show is drinking coffee. And sometimes I forget. And it's really silly to forget on a cold day like today. But anyway, not only am I going to church today, but a recent custom has been picking up a dozen donuts at my local Mariano's. Like riding my scooter over there. And I'll ride it today because it's cold, but it's dry out. And as long as it's dry, and as long as the temperature's I don't know, upper 30s. I'm ready to ride. Good morning, Abe. And I've realized over the last few weeks that a box a dozen donuts from Mariano's, it's probably about this big it's a square, so it's this big by that big, will just about perfectly fit in the back of my scooter, and I got to bend it. Somebody's asking a real estate team, can I ask you something? Should I leave real estate if I'm not making anything now as a buyer's agent? Danielle, I would say it would be very hard in real estate right now, whether you're on a buyer's agent or whether you're a solo agent. I was a realtor for 17 years. I describe my career, and I'm somewhat self-deprecating is fairly okay. I think if you're in real estate and you're doing it full time and you last for 17 years, it's probably a great, great career. But I'd say I did fairly okay. I did better than most, but not as good as some. The market right now is really tough in that there's just so few homes for sale, and it's a tough business. And people think it's an easy business, and that that realtors get huge commission checks, for doing nothing. And it's just a lot tougher than most people know. Danielle followed up her question by saying she's 29 and life feels out of my control. Danielle, I'll give you some further advice. Get used to that. I think life feels out of control for all of us. I bet everybody watching here, if we're honest, I would say we often feel that life is out of our control. But anyway, I bet the business is really challenging right now, and even the top realtors are probably struggling because the top realtors tend to build out a large team and have large expenses, and their business is down at least 50%. And I'd say everybody's business is down 50%. But if you're an agent struggling to, like I was living check to check. I maybe made 60, 70, 80 grand on a good year. And if your business is cut in half and you go from making 70 and barely paying the bills to making 35 and you're in a lot of trouble. And yeah, I bet it's a tough business to be in right now. I'd say don't give up on the business. I didn't personally enjoy it. If you like showing homes, if you don't like it, get out. I didn't like it. I hung around for 17 years as a realtor just because I wanted to run my own business, and I thought I'd end up making a ton of money. And I was talking about it with my wife today, that money's not a huge motivator for me. I think when I was young and I was a stockbroker and I was living in the city and I don't know, thinking money bought happiness and bought beautiful women or beautiful wives or beautiful families or a beautiful life. I was really money driven, and I was always trying to buy a fancy car to impress other people. But I realized that impressing other people doesn't make you happy, and you got to impress yourself or feel good with who you are. And if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. Somebody saying New York City real estate is picking up somewhat. I think interest rates are going higher. I don't want to talk too much about business today, but I think interest rates are going higher. I don't know. For the last 2 years, I've been saying it, and they keep going higher. They went from maybe 2.5 years ago, the mortgage rates were high twos, maybe 3%. To a year later, they were 5.5%. And I remember I was sitting on a golf outing with a bunch of mortgage broker friends, and I'm going, I think they're going higher. And they were all saying, no, they'll go back down. And now they're at 8. And I'm not saying I'm wrong often, but I think they're going higher. I think something's messed up with the economy. I think home prices are going up because there's just no homes for sale, and people got to live somewhere. But at some point, with interest rates rising, that's going to hit home prices, and I don't even know what to expect. But I think a lot of people are struggling to pay their whether it's their mortgage payments, if they're buying new homes, or the rent payments, or you can't sell your home if you're if your kids move out of the house, it's hard to sell your 4-bedroom home to buy a townhome or condo or a smaller place, because your payments are going to be as big or bigger on a home that costs half as much, and that just is a strange situation. Yeah, no, I know, John Bradley, that mortgage rates used to be a lot higher. Yeah, I know. I was a kid in the early '80s, and I remember when savings accounts were paying. I remember talking to a friend of mine, Steve Barkowiak, who ended up buying a home with me, by the way. And Steve Barkowiak, if you're out there, cheers to you. But I remember he had money in a savings account, and this was when I was just learning about banks paying interest, and it must have been like 81. And I don't know what the savings rates were, but I know the mortgage rates were probably 15, 16% or something like that. And he was making real money, getting real returns in a savings account, and I thought that was so. I was so jealous of that. Inflation has swamped our economy. It's a snowball effect. Tony Smith, I agree. I was, talking about paying $7.25 for a venti pumpkin spice latte the other day. Hello, Sarah Sandoval. Thank you for joining. And I was working, as I said, in the cereal aisle at Super Target till a couple months ago, and it's incredible how expensive things are. How a box of cereal now is $6, and it's a smaller box than it was. And I know maybe all old people bitch about this, but prices have shot up dramatically over the last couple of years. And personally, I'm just speaking for myself, my income certainly hasn't gone up to match it. I was in real estate, and as I think her name was Danielle was saying, the market's tough right now. And if you're a realtor and your income gets cut in half, and the price of a box of cereal doubles, and the price of rent, and because I was renting, doubles, it's a tough thing. Next step is yelling at kids to get off. Everything's relative to fuel. Fuel goes higher, so does everything else. Tony, I'm pleasantly surprised that the cost of fuel hasn't spiked upwards. That gas is still gurgling around $4.50 a gallon, and I know that's a lot higher than where it was 2 or 3 years ago. But I was concerned we'd see it run up to $8, $9, $10 a gallon. Sandra Lynn shops. Thank you, RJ. What would I do without RJ? I wouldn't drink much coffee. I'd just be an ice cube out here. Yeah, fuel's gone down a little bit, but it bounces around, and I don't know. I don't want to talk politics, but okay, let's talk politics. What the heck else are we going to talk to? There's trouble brewing in the Middle East, and that's never good for fuel prices. And I know we've cut back here in the United States on our oil production, and there's trouble going on with Russia, and that's never good for fuel prices as well. And if something escalates in another part of the world, and we don't ramp up our fuel production here in the States, our economy is a slave to, international events. And it'd be nice I'd feel better. And I remember, I don't know how many years ago, when I love the environment, so don't hate me for this, but I was so impressed with how the United States, which always seemed like a puppet to OPEC a little bit, ramped up its oil production, and we went from we controlled our own fate, and again, just ramped up the oil production. I was impressed, and I hope we continue to do that. Hello, Chippy. Thank you for sending me a hot dog. Hello, Not Original. Happy day to you. Drinking a little bit of orange. Hello. Who's sending me? Hey, is sending me a rose. I so appreciate you guys sending me roses. Sharon O'Westy, happy Sunday morning to you. Hello, Beverly Brorman. You've been gone for a little while. I had to look at my watch and see what time it was. Oh, you're saying hi to Happy Day. I thought you were saying hi to me. it's kind of nice. The little sense of community that is developing on my page, that you guys know each other and you guys say hi. And I think it probably creates a friendly environment, like cheers. And again, I'm showing my age. Most of you guys, I'm more handsome than Bruce Willis. Sarah Sandoval, I wish I could send you a rose for that. RJ wants to know Thanksgiving plans. I haven't thought that far ahead. We don't even know what we're dressing our little babies up for Halloween yet. Thanksgiving, in a perfect world, we would have Thanksgiving. For me, in my perfect world, and I haven't talked to anybody else about this, we'd have a big Thanksgiving dinner here. We'd have my dad and my sister and her kids and my mother-in-law and her husband over, and I'm just making this up. But I think my wife and I are really good hosts, and we like taking care of people, and we like feeding people, and we like entertaining, and our house seems pretty good for that. We got a real big dining room table. We got a nice sunroom with a TV in it. We got a big living room with a TV in it, so we could have people watching football. We could have people drinking coffee, drinking tea, eating pumpkin pie, feasting on turkey, and feasting on stuffing. Can you make a turkey? RJ, I mean, I can make a turkey. I mean, I don't know that I ever actually have. I think we did once. Best is making White Castle slider stuffing. That sounds interesting. Luis asks if I cook. I would not say that I cook very often. I made breakfast yesterday, and I made it quite well. I cook only in the sense that for most of my adult life, I've lived on my own. I've been married. I've been married twice, but I've lived. I didn't get married till I was 37. 34, the first time. So after college, that's 13 years where you got to learn to do something. And there was a break of many years between marriages where I also had to remember how to do everything. And so I know my way around a kitchen, but I certainly don't know how to. I can feed people. And I can microwave, and I can cook a frozen pizza, and I can make breakfast and make pancakes, and I like cooking, but I'm not a great cook by any stretch. What's my favorite dish that my wife cooks? Well, I mean, she makes a lot of great food, but I'll tell you what, and I don't even know what she called them. They were delicious, and it was easy, and it was quick, so I don't want to diminish her cooking and say what I'm thinking of, but she calls them like these little hamburger roll-ups. And it was like stuffing with like ground beef. And this isn't my favorite dish, but she made it 2 or 3 nights ago. And I was going, wow, this is good. Give me more, give me more. It was stuffing. It was hamburger meat. And it was a cream of mushroom soup. And I'll just tell you what, it was delicious. And it was delicious. And it was simple. And she did it quickly. It's not my favorite dish she makes. But it's the one that came to mind. And again, she's probably rolling her eyes right now thinking of how she'll make a fancy dish. I mean, she makes a lot of great meals. But that's just the one that popped to mind. Hello, Abby's dad. Welcome back. Welcome back, Abby's dad. I love it when Abby's dad tunes in. He's always so happy to be on my page. Ooh. RJ just said he can make a great meat lasagna. I love a good meat lasagna. And again, right now I'm thinking of comfort foods and warm foods because I'm cold. And I'm eating a cold orange. Do you guys refrigerate your oranges? I don't know if I did growing up, or my family did growing up, but I'll tell you what. They're extra good when they're cold. They're extra good when they're cold. And I don't know what your guys' favorite fruits are. You know, I've done a video on this before, my favorite fruits. It'd be hard for me not to say a banana, an apple, and an orange. And while they might not be the top tasting of the fruit family, A strawberry is almost, or a grape, that's almost like eating candy, or almost as tasty as candy, or watermelon, or something like that. I got to tip my hat to the versatility and to the everyday functionality that are oranges, apples, and bananas. And you can't refrigerate bananas because they get kind of weird and mushy and yucky. Cherries, yeah, cherries are so good. I have been AOL for a while. When did you get married again? John Bradley! Yeah, and Libby said that was her least favorite. Do you like the Bears today? Well, I always liked the Bears. But I don't even know when they're playing. I've only watched one football game this year. It was a Thursday night game, and it was a Thursday night game, and I watched it with my stepson, and they actually won. It was the only game they won. They're on today. We don't have regular TV. We don't have cable. I don't even know if I have the ability to watch the Bears today. Unless they're on like Peacock or Prime or Hulu or one of these streaming services, I can't watch them. You can watch the Bears. Can I? Can I? Can I? I don't know. If I can, that's awesome. RJ's saying it's a great live today. You guys know I chop up these live videos and post them as TikTok shorts and reels. I'm still about a month behind in my editing. And I'm trying to catch up, and I'm trying to attack vigorously every day videos that I did a month ago and edit them and post them as shorts and reels, and because that's what really explodes my audience on various social media platforms, particularly YouTube. When I post a good short over there, not even a good short, but might be a funny or silly or stupid short, or an inspirational short, and I pick up a whole bunch of subscribers. I enjoy doing these lives. It always feels good. Good morning, Sean. And gives me content for future videos. But I'll tell you what, it takes a long time to edit an hour-long video. It takes me maybe 5 hours to go through an hour-long video live and post it. And I was getting burnt out and fried out and tired the last few days, and I took off a day a couple days ago just because I wanted to, and it felt real good, and I kind of felt invigorated the last couple days good morning, Angela, I forget what I was saying. Felt invigorated. Let's drink a little more coffee, and let's go inside. Let's go inside and call it a day, because I feel good, and I've got oranges in front of me, and I want to get to Mariano's and pick up a dozen donuts for the family. I say for the family. I think last week I ate 3 of the 12. Can't stop. I'm like a little, what do they call me? My trolls call me a man-child. I don't know. It kind of sounds sexy when you call me a man something. But I don't think they mean it as a sexy term. But I am youthful at heart. You made sure to leave me some apple fritters. Thank you, Sandra Lynn. They are my favorite. But Boston creams are right up there, and they're all so good. Those French crullers are so delicious. They make my mouth salivate. But anyway, it's Sunday morning. I thank you guys so much for joining me and sharing a little bit of your Sunday morning with me. I generally go live at 8 o'clock every Sunday, have some coffee, have some conversation, and enjoy sharing a little bit about life and sharing some experiences. And, of course, sharing some coffee. And I want to thank you guys for joining. Please follow my page. If you don't already, please subscribe to my page. I have a lot of fun doing this. Heading towards 10,000. Haywood asked me if I'm growing a mustache for Movember. Just this morning, I posted a video about my thoughts on mustaches. So Haywood, you're gonna have. Thank you for that. The cowboy hat and the mustache. Go look at my last video I posted, and that will give you your answer for whether I'm growing a mustache for Movember. I'll just tell you, I'm not. I don't think I look good. I don't think I'd look good in mustaches. I'm not a fan. I know there's guys that look pretty cool in mustaches, but I don't think I'd be one of them. It'd grow like patchy and cheesy, and I'd look creepy. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining on this Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope your weekend is going great. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you had a great, great night's sleep. Hope you're excited about the sunshine. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.